Hey, how's it going, everybody? So today I want to go over SubjectTo. It's one of my favorite strategies to have in your tool belt whenever you're making offers. So what is SubjectTo? I'm sure y'all have heard of it. It's pretty popular. Pace Morby talks a lot about it, and a lot of people talk about SubjectTo. It's been around for a while. I've been doing it for many years. So what is a SubjectTo? So a SubjectTo is when a property is sold subject to an existing loan. So the seller's existing mortgage remains in place after the property is sold, while the new buyer continues to make payments for the remaining life of that loan. So to simplify the shit out of this is we're simply stepping into their shoes and continuing their payments on their behalf. So you do not have to pay off the mortgage in order to sell a house. Title and mortgage are not tied together. So that's a misconception. A lot of people think that the title of the property and the mortgage are the same thing, but no, they're two separate pieces of paper, and you can buy the property, keep the loan in place, but the title transfers into my name. So I'll legally own the property, but the loan itself remains in place. So what are the benefits of a SubjectTo? So whenever you go buy a property the conventional way, you go sit down with somebody, with the loan officer. They're going to ask for your credit. They're going to check your job history, tax returns. There's going to be an application of some sort, application fees, loan doc fees, all kinds of shit that I hate stress, and I'm not going to fucking go through all that. But yeah, that's pretty much the conventional way. Anybody normally that's going to Google how, buy a house and get a loan, they're going to go the conventional way, which is the FHA or conventional route. So the non-conventional way, which is a SubjectTo, and why it's my favorite strategy is because nobody's going to ask me for my credit, nobody's going to ask me for my tax returns, nobody's going to ask me for any applications, nobody's going to ask me for shit. It's me making the decision. It's me deciding whether I want to take over this loan or not. So that's why it's one of my favorite ways. And I can buy as many of these properties as I want, and I never have to step into the bank ever. I'm directly negotiating it with the seller. We're going to look at what their terms are, their interest rate, maturity date, type of loan, all of that shit. And I'm going to decide whether I want to take over this loan or not. Obviously, it has to make sense for the homeowner, and they have to decide that it's a good fit for them. But yeah, that's why it's one of my favorite strategies. So typically, when I'm taking over one of these properties over SubjectTo, normally it's going to be one of these three loans, and that's your FHA, your conventional, and your VA loans. So where do you find these properties where a SubjectTo is the right fit for them? Because not all these properties are going to fit under a SubjectTo, and you never want to make an offer just SubjectTo. You want to go through your cash offer, your listing, go through all those options first before you even bring up SubjectTo, because SubjectTo is not for everybody. It's for those specifically with no equity, and just because they have no equity, it still has to make sense for the homeowner. It has to be a win-win for everybody. So the number one place you're going to find a lot of these SubjectTo potentials are pre-foreclosures. These are people who are behind on their mortgage. Typically, if they bought the property less than 5 years ago, they're not going to have any equity, especially if they got it listed, pay realtor fees, commissions, and all of that shit. They're not going to have, they're not going to take anything at the end of the day. They're going to have to probably bring money to close to sell their property. So SubjectTo is probably the only route. So aside from pre-foreclosures, any property really that was bought in the last 5 years could potentially fit a SubjectTo strategy. Another way that I like looking for them are listings that have been sitting for 90 days or more, also that have been bought in the last 5 years. Those are good candidates because the agent doesn't get paid unless she sells. So if we can come up to them creatively and be like, hey, it's been sitting for a while. Here's why a cash offer doesn't work. I already ran my numbers, but hey, have you ever heard of this? And you just explain why and what are the benefits as a SubjectTo, and you'd be surprised. We've done a lot of deals with agents, and they get paid. Remember, they don't get paid unless they sell, and so we're making a win-win scenario for everybody. So another place is on PropWire. You can pull a list of pre-foreclosures. Not gonna be as fresh. I don't know how their data is pulled, but it's free. So what I'm trying to get to is there's no excuse of why you can't do a fucking deal. There's leads everywhere, and again, this is just a strategy. Don't be offering subject to everybody you're calling. It's a strategy. I see people just fucking making subject to offers and that's all they do. No, this has to fit, to their whatever problem they're going through. If it's a pre-foreclosure or whatever the problem is, it has to fit, the scenario. It has to make it a win-win for everybody. Another place is straight from your county. That's the best place you're gonna get it from, straight fresh from your fucking county. But it is some legwork. You got to go to your county, make buddies with whoever's in the front desk, and you got to figure it out. Because you're gonna probably ask me, how do I pull it from the county? Fuck, figure it out. My brother does it. He figured it out. He Googled it. He went to the county and he figured it out. So be resourceful with everything you do. The information's out there. Just be resourceful with everything. And then I personally use Propelio, and y'all seen my videos where I use their skip trace, and we've gotten deals through Propelio. So the data is fresh, not like fucking daily, but it's probably like 2-3 days late. But hey, time is money. I rather just pay, get the data, skip trace it, and get the team on it. So yeah, there's many ways you can get properties that are good potentials for a subject to. And again, be resourceful. There's potential everywhere. There's opportunity everywhere. So what do you do next? You compile a list of these properties, whether they're pre-foreclosures or no equity. You want to skip trace them and call them. It's that simple. Like, you can change your life in the next 30 days. Get a list, skip trace, and call them. Like, I know people regurgitate, I can't even say this fucking word, but they just say the same information, and I'm going to be saying the same information in my videos too because it works. But a lot of people don't put the work. It don't work if you don't work. This information works. Even if it sounds fucking simple, even if you heard 100 times, put it to work and you'll see, leads start coming in. So get a list, skip trace them, and call them. And so the idea on every call is to figure out a solution to their problem. So if there's no problem, there's no motivation. And specifically with pre-foreclosures, I like to go over all their options. Number one being reinstating a loan. That's always going to be the best one for them. Number two is a repayment plan from their lender. That's, they got to call their lender, see if they can get a forbearance or a modification. Three, I always advise them, hey, why don't you list it? I know there's no equity, but you just want to throw that option out there because remember, the idea is for them to leave you as their last first option. Next, I make my cash offer. I know that's not going to work because I'm going to be lower than what they owe. And again, it's no equity. So I already know cash offer it's not going to work. But again, we want to go over these options. Next, I present the subject to and just kind of lightly throw it in there like, hey, there's this other program, where situations like this when there's no equity, where we kind of just come in, take over your payment, simply step into your shoes, put a little bit, put something in your pocket better than, walking away with nothing or coming with something to the table. But yeah, we can get into that, if you like on another, or I can go over it right now, and I just let them kind of simmer it, and because you don't want to throw all this information at them. And I have a video that I send them every time I'm talking to pre-foreclosure. I have a video also going over these 6 options. Just that way, they can simmer and go over all their options and really think about, what's going to be the best for them. Because at the end of the day, it's what's best for them. And if we can help them, and make money along the way, that's, the whole idea behind what I do. I don't know everybody else, but I like to help. I like to problem solve and, make money along the way. And their last option is bankruptcy, but bankruptcy is not for everybody. Also, don't get in trouble. Don't be fucking giving them bankruptcy applications. Let them, hey, seek legal counsel, reach out to an attorney, and let them figure it out. So you don't want to get in trouble ever going into details with bankruptcy. So yeah, let them decide what best fits their situation. So extra strategies, if you do pick up one of these properties subject to, you can always wholesale them, but be cautious because remember, you are giving the word to the homeowner that you're going to be taking over the payments and making those payments. So if you wholesale it to a random ass fucking person and they stop paying, they're going to come back and haunt your ass. So just be careful who you sell it to. I personally sell them to a handful of people that I've done business for a long time. But yeah, so another one is if you buy these subject twos for yourself, you can always owner finance them. You can wrap them and become the bank. So get a down payment, recoup that money. and then cash flow from there. Another one is lease options. I've done one and that's it, but I'm not your guy about lease options, but I know you can buy property subject to and do a lease options on them. Another one is hotel them. So hotel them, they have to have equity. I don't know why I wrote this in here, but you can hotel subject twos if there's equity. You can buy them, take over payments, fix them up a little bit, put them back on the market. Or another one is live in one like I currently do. I've lived in like 3 subject twos, and the beautiful thing is, you can buy a property. Nobody's asking me for shit. I take over. If I want to live in it, I live in it. If I want to sell it, I sell it. But you can do whatever the fuck you want whenever you buy one of these properties because it's yours. You are buying the property legally. The title's in your name. The only difference is that the loan is in somebody else's name. But again, that doesn't matter because it's 2 separate things. So yeah, that's it. So hopefully this kind of gives you a kind of little brief explanation on what subject twos are, how they work, where you can find them, and the extra strategies behind them. So yeah, if this helps you, leave a comment, like, share. So yeah, appreciate y'all watching. And damn, my scar is bad. I got hit. I got elbowed playing basketball. I'm looking like Harry Potter here. But yeah, y'all have a blessed day.